Previously on Media Minds.
Today I'm joined by a very special guest. She's an award-winning videographer, editor, and storyteller. She's been doing media work for a few years with her company, Natasha Joy Video.
I started it because I think this is something that I really want to get into, and I made this about, I think, 6-minute video of what they thought of South Africa. Las Vegas, I went to at the very start of the year. I was filming for a company called IEDC. There's this big convention there called CES, and I was able to shoot some video for them. The one thing I'm still working on is networking. You gotta network with people. So I recently started putting out there that, hey, I'm gonna try to start doing some photography. I need some stuff for my portfolio. So I'm like, this is awesome. I gotta do this more. I think what inspires me to do these videos is other people. The more that I've had my camera with me, the more I've been able to shoot, and it's just like, I was just in Michigan this past week, and there were so many things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get a shot of this.
Hi, I'm Jack Ringenberg. I'm a CEO, videographer, and award-winning talk show host. Last year, I sat down with 3 college-age students who run their own freelance media companies and talked to them about their journey. Recently, one of them asked me if we can make an updated episode about their company. This is that episode. From Jack Ringenberg Media, this is Media Minds. Where are they now? Hello everyone, and welcome to this special episode of Media Minds. Today I'm sitting down again with Natasha Glenn from Natasha Joy Creative. Today we are going to be catching up with her and seeing what has changed since the last time we talked. So, Natasha.
Yes.
The last time we talked, your business was called Natasha Joy Videos.
Yes.
Now it's called Natasha Joy Creative.
Oh,
what
man.
inspired that change?
Well, first off, to start off, I'm glad to be back.
Oh, yes. Thank you for coming.
It's very good to see you once again.
Yes.
Last time we did a Zoom call, so this is in person. This is fun.
It's much nicer to be like here in person, seeing you
Yes.
face to face rather than over a screen.
Very true, very true. So the reason I changed it to Natasha Joy Creative is because I realized I like to do much more than just video.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do photos as well, and many other things. Like I like to do a little bit of graphic design here and there, but I just thought I'd change it because I can do multiple things, and I'd love to just show that to people and be more creative. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. So you mentioned photos is something you do. I know
Yes.
I've seen your Instagram, and I've noticed in your website, and I've noticed you've been doing a lot more photos recently.
Yes.
What has kind of that process been like, and what aspects of like photography do you maybe like more than videography, or what do you like about photography?
So something I like about photography, one, is the editing. As a video editor, you have to go through a process of finding music and then listening to that music over and over and over again until it just gets like ingrained into your brain, and sometimes I just get a little sick of it. So to take a little break from that, I realized editing photos is really fun.
Yeah.
Because I get to listen to whatever music I like and want. So that's one thing. Second thing is, at first, I'd say about a year ago, I thought that taking photos was just like kind of easy. Like, oh yeah, you just take a picture with a button and that's it. But no, it's like a whole art.
It is, yeah.
It's something. And I've started to realize that this year, and I've really enjoyed taking photos. I think right now I'm enjoying photos more than video.
Really?
Yeah.
And is that just because of like the editing style and that sort of thing? Or what has pushed you to like photography more than videography?
I think just like when you push that button, you got like you're capturing something in that 1 second. That 1 second. And sometimes like with a sport, you just like never know what's gonna happen. And so if you hit that button and you look back, you're like, oh, I got it. Yes. It's the best feeling in the world. Like that happened to me a couple of times when I started doing football practices, taking photos of football practices. And I had a few moments where I just got like an insane shot, and I was like, I just took that picture. Oh my gosh. It was just an amazing feeling. So that's like probably the main reason why I've just really loved it recently.
That's awesome. So shifting gears back to videography.
Yes.
At the beginning of the year, you had the, I would call it crazy idea of doing a video every single day of the year.
Yeah.
And this isn't a 365-day year. It's a 366-day year.
That's true.
Yeah.
That
so
is
you
so
are going to,
true.
by the end of the year, you're going to be making 366 videos, one for each day.
Yeah.
What inspired that idea?
I'm going to be so honest. I don't know. It just kind of sprung on me. I think what happened was I was watching an Instagram video, and this was the original idea. So I saw this Instagram like kind of like trend, I would say, where somebody takes a photo every day. Like, so it's like day 201 of showing a photo every day. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should do that with video instead. So I started doing that. I posted like one of those videos every day for 20 days. And by day 20, I was like, oh, this is bad. This is going nowhere.
I remember we had a conversation about that. We were in the car after we were shooting the interview with Ireland for a upcoming project coming soon.
Coming soon.
We'll talk about that later, maybe.
I
think I have a question about it. But we were talking about it, and you had asked me, like, what could I do differently? Because I'm not happy with this format. And I was like, I don't know. I like it. But yeah. And then I think later that day you posted something, like, completely different. And then that kind of spring launched your videos that more like the style they are now.
Yes.
Where they're like tips and stuff.
I love it so much more. I remember the day 21 video, I was like, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I just said, those videos I post like for the first 20 days, like first off, I was running low on like cool shots I had. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? So that was the first reason why I changed it. And then second reason, I could just be so more creative. Like so much more creative.
I got to say, I love your videos now.
Thank
They're
you.
so good.
I appreciate that.
I actually, like, sometimes I'll just like stay up at night and I'll be like, Natasha hasn't posted yet.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I gotta see this.
You probably stay up pretty late then sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes,
There's been one.
Sometimes I'll go to like sleep before they come out, but like most of the time I'll like stay up because I'll be like, I've got to like see it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Wow.
So like you mentioned that a lot of them come out late.
Yes.
Do you ever pre-record them? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like pre-recording it, scheduling them out? Because you do a lot of traveling too,
I
so
do.
like with Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you ever pre-record them?
No, I never do.
That's impressive.
I know. I don't know how I do it. So there's been so many days where I'm like, what on earth am I going to make today? And it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And somehow I just like, I come up with some of the most random things.
Yeah.
Some videos, I will say, like, I think the biggest thing I wouldn't do next time if I were to do this again, I don't know if I'm going to do this again. I'm still going to post when the year's over, but I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah.
It was so much. But I think definitely doing them in the morning is like a huge thing, like just to knock it out, get it done, so I don't have to stress about it at night. It was just like, there were so many times I just got so stressed, like I don't know what on earth I'm gonna do today. But we keep pulling through. We got what is it now, like
over halfway.
Oh, way over halfway.
Way over halfway.
Way over.
We're filming this November 1st. So like we got a month left.
Yeah,
2 months.
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
So like, I'm on day 306.
306.
So I can't do math. 365 minus 306.
There was 366.
366.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's 60 days.
60. Okay.
60 days. 60 days left.
Wow.
Yeah.
60 more Natasha Joy creative videos.
Yep. Next year, people are probably gonna be wondering what I'm gonna do when I get done. I'm gonna continue to post, but what I'm gonna do is prepare them better. I want to make like more better quality.
Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to do my best to stay consistent, but the consistency shouldn't be over top of quality, because I think that's really important.
Yeah. You talked about kind of the challenges you faced with doing videos every day, like planning them out and stuff.
Yeah.
But what is something like you've learned from this experience of posting every day?
Oh man, one of the main reasons why I did this is to like be like better with discipline, because there have been so many things that I have started and have not finished because I don't have the discipline to do it.
Same.
And yeah, it's just like, it's something that is so needed, and I just thought to myself, man, why not try this out?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think I was going to make it this far.
Really?
No. I thought I was going to just make it to day 10. But nah, the discipline is just so important.
Yeah.
So important, and that's like one of my biggest takeaways, something I've learned from this. Like I said before, don't post at night because it's stressful. And making up the content on the fly is hard. Having it prepared would be so much better to do. So that's definitely something I've learned.
For sure.
To prepare.
So earlier I mentioned that, you do a lot of traveling work. Like, you do stuff with the Chalk Guy. You do stuff with summer camps I saw. Like, you did some social media stuff for them.
Yes.
What is that like, traveling for social media? Like, what is that experience like? And you kind of talked about how that plays into, like, your upload schedule. But can you talk about, like, all of that?
That was something. This year was the first year I've ever done anything like that.
Really?
First year I ever traveled by plane by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was a little worried about it, but oh my gosh, one of the best experiences of my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so far. I remember the first trip I went on was to St. Simons, Georgia. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do tomorrow? Because I arrived at like 12 a.m. at night.
Oof, yeah.
One of the main guys was waiting there when I arrived, and we were just talking. I got into my hotel room, and I was like, man, how is this going to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
I woke up at like 6 a.m., and I was like, okay, let's just do it. And I did it. I got out, shot all these things, got kids at the beach, got kids worshiping, got all the things, and I got just so much video.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun. Like, I think the main thing with the traveling was making connections. That was the best part by far.
For sure. And you've made a lot of connections.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah.
But going off of this right now, how did you find out about, or how did you get contacted to do this big summer camp project for this church?
It was actually connection by my dad, actually.
Really?
So my dad did a lot of work with these camps, and their social media was lacking just a little bit, and he was like, hey, my daughter does all this stuff. Word of mouth is powerful.
Yeah.
And so it got to the big honcho guy, like the guy who's like, yeah, we make all the decisions, and they're like, yeah, okay, let's bring her out.
That's awesome.
I went to 4 camps that summer, and I got them, like, what was it? Like, hold on, we're going to do math again. 7 times 4, like 28 videos.
Wow.
For them.
In the span of, like, what, a few days?
So what happened was I got back from, like, so these camps were, like, back to back to back to back. So in August, I think that was, like, my last, like, that was, like, when it was over.
Yeah.
August to September, I just sped run all those videos, and I just sent them all to them.
Yeah.
Like, just in that time. And then I made a few while I was at the camp as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that worked.
You mentioned connections earlier, and you've got a lot of connections now because you've done a lot of production assistant work with Paragon Productions, and you're working here at Tactic Digital. So can you talk about what that experience was like and how you kind of got into those positions?
Sure, yeah. I think, okay, so at least for Paragon, I'm going to start there. All was because of a message I sent. This guy named Jacob Nobe, I'm pretty sure is his last name. I saw that he had like an opening for a PA. At the time, I had no idea what that was, actually. I was like, what even is that? Oh, I'll just reach out to him anyway. And I just said, hey, so I'm looking to get, more involved in the video community. And, if you still need a PA, whatever that is, I would love to help. I looked it up afterwards, so we know what it is now. He got back to me and was like, hey, we already filled the position, but if there's anything in the future, we will let you know. So I think it was like 2 months later, I got like a call from him, slash text. I think it was actually a text.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, so we need like an extra PA for something for NBA All-Star Week.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I was like, whoa, that's cool. Okay, yeah, for sure. So that was my first PA gig, and it was definitely very, very interesting.
That's awesome.
Good experience. I helped out as much as I could. It was my first time, so I was definitely feeling the nerves a little bit. But by the end, I was like, all right, yeah, we got it done. And I got paid. So that was very nice.
I don't know if I knew that story, actually.
Oh, yeah. No,
That's
it was
crazy.
Yeah, it was with a company called SoFi.
Oh.
They came and
I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. Are they a bank? They might be a bank. I don't know. I've
heard of them.
Yeah.
Before,
they have a stadium in LA.
Yeah.
So,
SoFi Stadium. That's where
SoFi
I've
Stadium.
heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I knew the name sounded familiar.
Yes. So SoFi came down to do some videos for their social media because they're hosting the NBA All-Star in 2026. So that's what they were doing, and I was just there to be extra hands. That's what a PA is, which is a production assistant, if you guys didn't know. And after that, actually, I'm kind of sharing my whole Paragon story right now. But after that, I hadn't really had any gigs with them. And then my mom told me, like, hey, reach back out. That's like such a good thing to know. Reach back out to people if they don't because people get busy. There's no control over that. Yeah. So how are they going to remember you? You got to be the person.
You got to keep your connection.
You got to keep your connection. So I reached back out to Jack Ringenberg, which is the guy who runs Paragon Productions, and I was like, hey, Jack, hope you're doing well. Because I did actually meet with this guy before. Yeah. And I just reached back out to him and said, hey, if you have any gigs coming up, I'd love to be there to help. And since then, I've had 3 gigs with Paragon.
That's awesome.
So far. So, that's
awesome. So kind of moving away from this, but going back to Natasha Joy Creative. Yeah. So earlier this year, you made your first short film, which I was happy to be a part of.
Yes, you were.
I got to be one of the camera people. So thank you for letting me be a part of that.
It was great to have you.
I loved the experience.
Awesome.
But can you kind of walk through that process? What made you want to do that? I mean, because you're still doing at this point, you were still doing, and you still are doing, your 366 videos. So what made you want to take on this? Yeah. In addition to all of your other projects, what made you decide to do this, and what made you think this wouldn't overload your schedule?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, great question. I think one of the main things, yes, I already had a lot going on, but one of my bucket list things had been to create a short film. And I was like, hey, summer's coming up, I don't have, it was May. Summer was coming, and I knew I had a busy summer, so if I was going to do it, I had to get it done. So I thought it'd be just a cool idea to see if I could make something in 2 months. Yeah. Just it's my first one ever. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be great. I just want to see if I can do it. So I made another video for my 366-day series, and I was like, guys, I'm going to do something crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to play it right now.
I'm going to be doing something I've never done before. So I'm going to attempt to create a short film in under 2 months. I've never made any kind of short film before. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try, and we're going to see how it goes. So the deadline is July 1st. So I have the first part of summer to create something amazing, hopefully, and submit it to this film festival. I won't be posting videos about it all the time. Probably maybe once a week I will, and I'm going to start posting YouTube videos as well. So we're going to see how it goes. Wish me luck.
Oh, wow, that was a great video.
That was awesome, yeah. Made that forever ago.
That's the video that started, the whole, short film idea. And I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, wow, this is, so cool. Yeah. So what happened after that video was made?
Well, I started to try to come up with an idea, and I didn't really get far because this brain, has so much going on up there, and I just couldn't think of an idea. So I asked my dad for help, and he has a ton of ideas. And he gave me a pretty good one to start off with. I wanted to do something kind of chill to start off, just a simple story. Yeah. Easy meaning, but it hits home, you know. And it was called Remember When. And
great name, by the way.
Thank you. I was pretty proud of that one. So I think one of the hardest things about that, and I even made a YouTube video about this, and I'm very happy with that as well.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes one.
Behind the scenes.
That was so good.
That was your idea, by the way.
It was?
Yes, you said, hey, you better record all this so you make a video.
I don't remember saying that, but
I remember.
I vaguely remember that now, but that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, you inspired it. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad. I remember when you came to my TV class and you told me kind of that you were a little more serious than I thought about this idea, and you had your camera and you were recording everything, and we've got a shot of me recording you talking to Scott about whether he wanted to do help with the camera stuff. Yep. And I just remember that. I was so excited.
That was probably, I think that was the first week I started working on it. Yeah. And by then I'd started storyboarding.
I remember you showed me on Freeform.
Yep, on Freeform, that's right. So by that point I started storyboarding, I started scripting, and with the script at least, I didn't want to have a too dense script because it was my first one, and I'm not the best writer. I'm just gonna be flat out. I'm not. Yeah. So we got that done. The hardest part was the actors. I was from the start, I was worried about the actors.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, but we found some great people, some great family friends who were willing to help out. Gosh, I'm so thankful they did it, and they did great. They were really good. So it all worked out. I got it done in 2 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was my first one.
That's awesome. So this is kind of me using my behind the scenes knowledge here for this question.
Yeah.
But I remember that when we were shooting it, we wanted to shoot it in RAW, but my camera couldn't do RAW.
Right.
So there was the whole editing thing there, like with matching all of the colors and stuff.
Yeah, that was... And
then I remember too, Scott's camera, who's one of the other videographers for the shoot, his camera could shoot RAW, so you were having to use a different editing program to edit the color for the story, the short film.
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
But could you talk about that? Like, because it wasn't Final Cut, which is your normal thing, and it was DaVinci.
Yep.
Did you edit the whole thing in DaVinci?
There was one part I edited in Final Cut because I didn't know how to figure it out in DaVinci, but yeah, almost all of it was in DaVinci.
What was that one scene, out of curiosity?
It was the one where the kid fades away.
I was going to say, I bet it was that one. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I like that scene.
Yeah, that took me a second to figure out, but I did it. I was proud. So yeah, I had to edit it in DaVinci, and I had done one video in DaVinci before. Yeah. It was like a really quick sizzle reel, and that took me 2 hours. It was like the shortest video too, and that took me 2 hours. So I'm like, how am I gonna get this done? Yeah. So the editing process was something I definitely wish I spent a little bit more time doing. I had no idea how to color grade, so I definitely know, looking back, the colors are not like where they should have been. But you know, all that aside, I'm just happy I got it done, happy we filmed it, happy we had actors, and it just all came together in the end. I was just really happy with it.
I really like the way it turned out.
Me too. Yeah. Thank you.
So it sounds like you had a lot of fun making the film. I really liked being a part of it.
Yeah.
Would you want to do something like this again?
Oh, man. So I definitely think I should. I think I mean, I would like to submit a good film to a film festival. I'm not saying this one wasn't like good. It was just my first one ever. Yeah. And I think I could do so much better now that I've done one. So I think I would definitely like to do one again. Yeah. I think being a director is definitely a whole like just new space for me though, because I'm so used to being behind the camera. Yeah. And it was definitely a little hard for me to say what I'm thinking. Yeah. Like to tell you guys how to do it. Yeah. What's in my mind, like how to like say it in words. Yeah. So I think it would definitely be good to like do it again to work on that even more, because in the real world that is very important. Yeah. So I think we will in the future. I just need to figure out another story, and I think it's definitely will happen. Yeah. Going back to what you were saying about kind of being like a first time director, I remember like on set, you were kind of debating like whether to get like more footage or like just stick to the script. Yeah. And I remember you also made like a video about that. Yes. But yeah, you know, directing is hard. Like, and you directed like an actual short film, and I'm over here. I haven't directed like anything, my gosh, like, big, but like Jack, you'll get there. I'll get there. Yeah, someday. I could see you being a great director, Jack. Thank you. Yeah. So going back to the overall theme kind of like the biggest thing that's changed since last time I talked to you, you know, your daily videos. Yeah. One of your videos got almost 1 million views. Oh my gosh, right. Could you talk about that video for people who are listening? And then for people who are watching, we're going to play it on the screen right now. Yes. It's fun to stay at the Wow, that video was like just so simple, you know? I know, like when you made that video, I'm assuming you probably didn't expect it to blow up the way it did, but it did. Yeah. Have you checked the view count recently? No, not at all. Oh, I think it's... The last time I checked, it was like almost at 1 million. Yeah, I think like it was at 900,000 or something. Yeah, so, yeah. Like it's getting close. But, and what was that feeling kind of like when it did kind of blow up? When I started this challenge, one of like the things I was thinking, if one of my videos went viral, I was just like, man, that'd be so cool. And then it happened. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, it's just people are seeing it. Yeah. It's interesting because you get all these comments. I don't know. I don't really look at the comments too much. That's smart. Yeah, I don't really go in there. But it's interesting because people are seeing it, but it doesn't feel like it. Like it's not like you're in front of like a huge crowd of 1 million people. Yeah. But in like some sense you are. It's just behind a phone.
Yeah.
So the feeling was like, man, every time I opened up my phone, it was like 100 followers, 100 likes, 100 comments, like for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, because you got a lot of your following count.
From
I would
that
say
video.
Now from that video.
Yeah.
What was that like, gaining so many new followers and having a much larger audience then?
It was so cool. That was pretty cool. I mean, and I don't like to. I never. I don't know if anyone has ever noticed this, but I never ask anyone to follow me. That's not like my main goal. I just like, I'm doing this just like for fun to people and to enjoy it. I don't like. If you don't want to follow me, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Just like, do you, man? So, but to see like people enjoy my content like that, and like, have the courtesy to leave a follow, was very, very nice.
Well, I remember shortly after you made your video, I saw another video that was like exactly the same pretty much, except with a different person.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I remember, I think I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, did like your video, was it inspired by this person?
Yeah,
or
I don't
like
know.
did your video come after this?
Yeah.
And I think we determined yours had come before, and like he had seen your video probably and copied you, which I just thought that's so like fascinating.
I think
it's so cool that he maybe like saw your video and decided to make his own version.
Yeah.
Like this like big like person on like, it's not like big, but I remember. I mean, it showed up in my feed, so like, it's to some level. But I just think that's so cool. Like, he saw your video probably and just got inspired to make his own version. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it's insane what social media can do.
Okay, we are taking a look at the analytics.
So from that day 67, it has.
Man, 67. That was pretty like
That was
early on. Yeah.
Wow. It's funny. I started to realize. Well, I'll share that in a second. I started to realize my first, let's see when it started to happen. This day 63 was when like some of my content started getting over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And then from there it just like kept going up.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I was just like, it's tough like with some of these. Yeah. I mean, when you're running a social media account, it's kind of hard not to get caught up in the views and all that. So to like see like. So all these videos, not much, and then like just randomly these started just to. Yeah. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And when something like that happens, you should try to replicate it. But I always try to be like different with every video. So.
And you've mentioned consistency too.
Yes.
And you think that's part of what has drawn like over 1,000 views typically to your videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are the analytics.
Let's take a look at the analytics.
So, views, 900K.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So then likes, 35,000.
Wow.
704 comments. 8.7K shares.
8.4. That's a lot of people sharing it.
Yeah. And then
that's crazy.
It's actually 8.7, sorry.
8.7. That's a lot
and then
of shares.
3.1K saved it. And then, let's see how many people. I got, 677 follows from that.
Wow, that's impressive. And did you make any money off of it?
No, I started the monetization after.
Oh, probably because of that video that launched you to where you could do monetization.
Yeah.
Are you making money off of Instagram yet?
No, I'm trying to. Next year, I think I'm gonna focus more on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I think you can monetize better on there.
Well, I mean, with your YouTube too, like it's not gonna take you too long to get monetized.
Yeah.
Because you're already at like 100-something subscribers, right?
I'm at actually 200.
200.
Yeah.
It's just because you're uploading like your stuff
every day. Yep. I have I have a YouTube video coming soon too.
Really? I'm excited.
Yeah. Yes.
But oh my goodness, like, I wish my Jack Ringenberg Media stuff could get.
Now you got it.
Someday.
Get consistent.
The one I think once I get my new camera, I'm gonna make like a lot of
you
that
get a
kind
new
of
camera?
content. The old like 4x3 one,
gotcha.
the like vintage one. That's gonna be cool because then that'll appeal to people who kind of like that sort of stuff too.
Right.
But it's good. I'm gonna like. My plan is to make a lot of social media content with it.
Yeah.
For Jack Ringenberg Media.
Gotcha.
And I want to do like a day in my life too at like Ball State,
You
like
should.
as a PMX student.
You should.
But yeah. Okay. I just want to make so much more content. Like I need to like.
I know
learn all
you
this
got
new
it.
stuff.
You
okay.
got it.
So something I know we have been working on together between Jack Ringenberg Media and Natasha Joy Creative is a docuseries called Born to Twirl.
Yes.
Tentatively, that's the tentative title.
Yes.
But it's going to be about our friend Ireland Jones, who
Yep.
wants to break the baton twirling record.
Yes.
And I think she had the idea to make this, right? And kind of pitched it to us.
I don't remember, actually. I remember, I think it was you and her talking about it.
I think we were talking about it, and then I brought you on.
Yes.
So could you kind of, I guess, because I wanted to bring this up at some point, but
Yeah.
I don't really have a specific question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of what has been the experience like working on like a docuseries kind of so far? Because we've been working on this for months.
Yeah, we have.
It's almost been a year. And we actually have had to scrap a lot of it.
We have.
Let's actually talk about that right now.
Yes,
let's just have a conversation.
Yeah, let's just have a conversation about this.
We
So
don't need questions right now.
I think the biggest thing with this is having a plan.
Yeah.
Because remember, we went into this
very much
really
with questions for an interview. We
Yeah.
had people we wanted to interview, but not really a plan.
Yeah, we didn't have an outline for the episode.
Yeah.
Because we're wanting to have 3 episodes.
Originally we wanted to have 6.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We want to have 6 half-hour episodes, or were they going to be half-hour or hour long?
I think half hour.
Half hour.
Yeah, maybe even shorter.
That's what we're trying to get now, 3 half-hour episodes.
Yes.
But
so what we did is remember that it was in January we did our first interview.
Oh my
with
goodness,
her.
I remember it was so cold out that day.
It was.
Because we have that video of me
flying the drone. Yeah.
And my hands, I was wearing gloves, but my hands were like so cold still. And I remember we were in the car after, and then that's when we had talked about the day 20 whatever thing.
Yes.
And I just remember I was like so cold.
Oh my gosh, right?
I was like, I remember thinking, I hope this footage is usable. I hope we can like.
And it was.
It was, but it just didn't fit the overall story that we were looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, we ended up doing 2 interviews with her. That first one was going to be for the first episode, and the second episode.
Yeah.
But I remember looking back, I'm like, man, how are we going to make this into a story? A story that people are going to want to stay attached to and
because what we're planning on doing, I guess, now and originally too, is kind of the first episode is like meet Ireland.
Yeah.
Like you get introduced to her, like all of the characters in the story. And then the last episode is theoretically, hopefully, when she'll break the baton twirling record.
Yes.
So that's what we are kind of hoping there. And that's kind of still the plan.
Yeah.
But we're taking a different approach now.
Yeah. So we've gone through, we've had 50 Zoom calls about this. Just going along and making an outline about this first episode at least.
Yes.
Because we're going to have it, so we're going to do go to a competition of hers.
Hopefully.
Yep, hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's also been tough because of schedules.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Because you're so busy with all of your stuff, and then me and her are busy with school.
Yeah. Yeah, Island's doing all her baton stuff at college, and it's just kind of tough. I think this is definitely a summer thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But then again, Island's pretty busy for the summer too.
Yeah, as you can see, we've been trying to plan this for a while.
Yes. Yes, we'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
Yes.
I think, what is our tentative release date right now? We said 2026.
I thought we said 2025.
I think it was 2025, but then I changed it to 2026.
Yeah.
You know.
It'll
come out eventually.
Yes, eventually. We got it.
But yeah.
Cool.
So.
Anything else on that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, would you have expected this to be where you are a year ago?
Gosh, I just made a video about this.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, I'm gonna watch it real quick because I said something about this. Oh.
We're gonna throw it up right now.
I want you to take a second and look back on this year. Look at where you started to where you are now. If you're feeling like you haven't grown, you're lying to yourself. We grow every day. With our failures, our mistakes, the experiences we have, we learn from them, and we become better. So although this year is almost over, you have learned so much. So continue to learn and move forward.
Look at where you started to where you are now. I was making this because at the time, I felt like I hadn't grown that much. But now that I'm doing this interview with you, I feel like I've grown a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, I texted you earlier today, I was like, here's everything I'm planning on talking about in the interview. And I was like, did I miss anything? And it was a lot of stuff. And I was thinking, because you've just done so much this year.
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
Thank you.
honestly, and I don't mean this in like a negative way or whatever, but I would not have expected you to be here like this time last year. Like, I mean, you're just doing like so much cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you were doing a lot of cool stuff like this time last year, and but like 366 videos. Like I cannot even like fathom that. That's crazy.
I didn't think I would do anything like that ever.
That is so crazy.
So
looking forward, what are your goals for the next year?
Oh my gosh. I think I want to really focus on YouTube videos. Trying to get at least one a month, cause it's just
same. I want to get more YouTube videos out.
Yeah.
I haven't uploaded since like I did the videos about like the short film.
Oh, the short film, yeah.
Those shorts.
Yeah, those were great though.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, I love
Thank you.
those.
I spent a lot of time on those.
Yeah, those were really good. Goals.
I was happy with those.
Yeah, no, they were really yeah. You gotta make more like that. If you make like the BSU, like day in the life, like that.
I really want to.
Yeah, because those are the kind of videos that do well.
Well, and I think my position is unique too, because I'm working at Ball State PBS and the digital core, and I'm doing this on the side. But like, this isn't something that's necessarily in the forefront right now,
right?
Only because like I do have 2 other actual paying jobs too. So.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Dang. No, that's great.
Okay. What are your goals for next year?
So some goals for next year. I obviously want to keep making content, but I want to make my content better, quality-wise. I said that before. I want to definitely meet more people, make connections, just all the experiences. I just want to figure out more about what I like, my likes, and what I don't like. And I always had this goal. I love to travel, so traveling anywhere and capturing anything. I love doing that. So, yeah, I think those are the main things on my mind right now. I think when it comes to New Year's, I'll definitely think about it much more, and I'll get back to you with some more goals.
That's awesome. And for my final question, it's just the basic one. Is there anything I haven't asked that you'd like to mention?
Okay, another thing I've done is I took on an internship with this company called Tactic. I work with this guy named Ryan Fortney. He's awesome. And he's up there. But it's just been a great opportunity to work and kind of experiment with content, creating it, learning new things, because he's kind of my mentor. And he's been teaching me some great things.
That's awesome.
So, and that's definitely something I am trying to do, is to learn as much as possible and get better and grow, just like I said in that video. So, joining Tactic has been great so far.
Yeah, and we're in his studio right now.
We're in his studio.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Tactic.
Shout out. Yeah.
Are they on YouTube? Is Tactic on YouTube?
Yeah, Tactic's on YouTube.
We'll throw the social media links for Tactic in the description down below, and we'll throw your YouTube channel link down in the description below too.
Sounds good.
And thank you, Natasha, for joining me on this special episode of Media Minds. And thank you so much for watching. To view more of Natasha's work, you can check her out online at natashajoy.com. Is that it?
Well, I'm actually working on my website right now, so it'll be up soon.
But is that the URL?
Yeah, natashajoy.com, you're right.
natashajoy.com, awesome. And you can also check out her Instagram, where she's doing new videos every day for the rest of the year. And that is at Natasha Joy Videos, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you.
And you can watch all the episodes of Media Minds on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, or on jackringenberg.com/media-minds. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.